Hi class, I'm making the videos to give you some help for the homework of chapter 9. Let's start from the first question. The first question, the project cost you $20,000 to begin with, and the 5 years free cash flows from this project are given. So the question is asking you how much is the payback period, how much is MPV, how much is IRR, how much is profitable index PI. So you see, let's start from payback period. So you can either use the calculator, the link to this calculator, you go to jufinance.com and then you look for under capital budgeting, look for MPV, IRR, and payback. So this is a calculator. And what you can do is just put down here the cash flows year by year. In our example, so you see the cash flow for initial expenses is $20,000. This is a cost, so put negative $20,000. And for year one's cash flow, it's 8,000, and then 8, 4, 3, 5, 10. So 8, 3, 4, 5, so 10. So it's a 5-year project. So the cash flows or the profit, free cash flow is just like pure profit. So pure profits are given. So you know the project cost you $20,000 at the beginning. So, and the frequency is this cash flow has been occurred how many times. So if frequency is 1, and that means $8,000 occurred in year 1 and only once. And the second year cash flow is $3,000. It happened only once. So if it happens twice, for example, in year 2 and year 3, the cash flows are both $3,000, then you put frequency 2 here. But in our example, you just keep frequency for 1. So this is our cash flow. Also, there's another input you should define for cost of capital. So cost of capital here, in the question is said 10% for required rate of return. This is just the cost of capital. So put 10 here, and then that's all we need. Click on calculate. So MPV is 2,381, IRR is 14.36, payback period is 4. So these should be the answers for this homework. So you can use the calculator, or you can use Excel to do that. The Excel syntax for MPV and IRR, you can find it in the on-campus class website. This is MPV. So we have used this MPV command in chapter 5 and chapter 6. So this is now the new concept. IRR is new to us. IRR stands for internal rate of return. So this is the equation for IRR. MPV, when MPV equals to 0, this one, MPV equals to 0, and that cost of capital or that rate is IRR. So you can work out this math equation to figure out how much is this IRR. This is the whole equation here, equals to 0, and that's IRR. But you can use Excel command, IRR command in Excel to figure out how much is IRR. Or you can use this calculator. So IRR in this case is 14.36%. So at this rate, MPV equals to 0. So payback period is 4 years. Payback period, you just simply use like negative $20,000 and add 8,000, add 3,000, add 4,000, add 5,000 until like the cost would be completely covered. So by the end of year 4, if you add them up, and your cost $20,000 will be completely covered from your year 1's cash flow to year 4's cash flow. So the payback period is 4. So you can refer to here. So I write down here some details for the payback period. For MPV, you can use Excel. For IR, you use Excel. For the payback period, you have to work it out by just figuring out like how long does it take you to, how long it takes to pay back the debt. So in this case, it should be 4 years. So you see, the debt is the debt at the beginning of the year is $20,000. You made $8,000 profit in year 1, and you use it to pay off your debt. So after year 1, you still owe $12,000 debt. So now $12,000 debt is what you carried over for the second year. You make $4,000 in the second year. After the second year, you still owe $8,000. Now at the beginning of the third year, your debt is $8,000. You make $3,000. So after the third year, you still owe $5,000. Now since your fourth year's cash flow is $5,000, your debt is $5,000. You paid it off completely. After year 4, you're debt free. So payback period is 4 years in this case. You see, so if you use MPV function, see, this is the equation you should be using in MPV. So it should be, you use MPV function in Excel. The input should be the rate first, which is 10%, and then your year 1's cash flow. It has to start from year 1's cash flow. Year 1, year 2, year 3. Oh, this is wrong. It should be 3,000. Year 3, year 4, and year 5. And then your year 0's initial expenses has to be put outside of this MPV command. And then so in Excel you will get the answer of MPV. You can also use IRR function in Excel, but you have to include all cash flows. If you're not familiar how to use IRR in Excel, you can watch the class videos, and I had an example there to show the class how to use IRR. Okay, and the last one is asking you to calculate the profitable index PI here. So PI is a ratio of MPV of cash flows from year 1 to last year over the initial investment. So you should get the MPV of cash flows from year 1 to year 5, and then divide it by the initial investment. So you see here, this is the equation. If you're using Excel, this is how you should get the profitable index. Okay, so this is question number 1.